The first season begins with the ninjas playing and not training, so the teacher comes and stops them from playing and asks them to train. Then she comes to inform them about the return of Lord Garmadon, so he goes to verify the truth of the news, but it turns out to be Lord Garmadon, who is Lord Garmadon's father. He can defeat him quickly, but Kai discovers the teacher's bag on his dragon, and an old scroll falls from it that talks about the prophecy of the Green Ninja. Then Lloyd appears, freeing the Serpentine tribe, or what is called the Serpentine. Lloyd returns to Ninjago, but with an army of snakes. The ninjas come to fight them, and they manage to defeat them, taking all the staffs of the snake leaders and placing them in the water. This cancels the hypnosis of the village residents, and the snakes flee. The next day, the snakes begin building a kingdom to settle in. At night, a falcon comes to Zane and guides them to the location of this kingdom. The ninjas then go to them to prevent them from completing this kingdom. The ninjas sneak inside the kingdom, but Cole is controlled by the Serpentine and fights the ninjas. The Serpentine go to retrieve the Fang blades, and the ninjas return to the training camp, but it's too late. The Serpentine destroy their camp, take the Fang blades, and escape. The snakes turn against Lloyd and expel him from their secret base. Thanks to Zane, the ninjas find their new secret base. The next day, the master asks the ninjas to set up their new base to become their training camp. Lloyd goes and frees a second tribe of snakes. The second tribe goes to the place where Jay's parents live, and their ability is to control scrap and turn it into weapons and vehicles for themselves. Jay and the ninjas go to visit Jay's parents, only to find that the snakes have captured them and bitten them, setting a trap for the ninjas. The ninjas fight the snakes and manage to defeat them, causing the snakes to retreat. The ninjas are able to unleash their power with the help of the masters, benefiting from the power of the golden weapons. They create vehicles to chase the snakes, manage to reach them, and retrieve the serum that contains the cure for Jay's parents. The ninjas return to their base, and Jay's parents receive the antidote for the venom through the serum. The next day, Zane dreams of the Green Ninja fighting Lord Garmadon and defeating him. When he wakes up, he tells the other ninjas about his dream, which distracts them during training. As a punishment, their master bans them from playing video games. At the same time, Lloyd gathers the two snake tribes to fight each other, but they become friends, and Lloyd escapes before they catch him. He then goes and frees a cunning snake, considered one of the strongest and most deceitful among them, named Pythor. He manages to form a temporary alliance with him to take revenge on the ninjas and the snakes. Then he goes to the school for bad boys and sets traps for the ninjas. The ninjas arrive and free the tied-up students, then chase Lloyd and try to catch him, but the traps they set initially overpower the ninjas. Then they continue to chase them, but Pythor takes the map that contains the locations of the other snakes, prisons, and escapes. The ninjas catch Lloyd, and the teacher manages to convince Lloyd to join them. Pythor continues his plan to free the rest of the snakes, and the ninjas split up. Zane and Cole go to one of the tombs, but it is too late. Pythor has already freed them and sets a trap for them, but Sensei Wu manages to save them, and they escape to warn the rest of the ninjas. One of the snakes manages to poison Kai, causing him to see things that aren't real. The rest of the ninjas arrive and fall into Pythor and the snake's trap. But a fighter named the Samurai intervenes, saves the ninjas, and defeats the snakes. The ninjas return to their base. Pythor then manages to find the lost city, the city of the Great Devourer. Lloyd disguises himself and goes with the snakes to this city. Pythor fights the snake leaders in exchange for their loyalty and to become the leader of the 4 snake tribes. Using the master's magical flute, he is able to defeat them and take pictures of their genes, thus uniting the snakes. Lloyd is discovered while disguised, and the snakes imprison him. The ninjas search for Lloyd and find the lost city, also known as the City of the Great Devourer. They sneak into the city to rescue Lloyd, but Pythor manages to trap them and imprison them. The samurai intervenes, rescues the ninjas, and escapes. The ninjas fall into the desert, and the samurai ends up near Kuwait. Kai is able to discover the identity of the samurai, who turns out to be his sister Nia. She gives the golden weapons to Kai, and asks him not to reveal her identity to the other ninjas. Then, Kai returns to the other ninjas and goes back to the training camp. The serpents begin searching for the feathers, which, when gathered, will release the Great Devourer. The ninjas chase the bird, which leads them to the place of Zane's birth. It turns out that Zane and the bird are both robots. The ninjas are attacked by massive monsters, but Zane is able to unleash his full power and defeat the monsters. Pythor manages to unite the Serpentine and discover the map of the feathers that will release the Great Devourer. His master travels using Traveler's Tea and goes to his brother, Lord Garmadon, asking him to save his son and defeat the Great Devourer in case Pythor and the serpents succeed in gathering the feathers. Lord Garmadon agrees in order to save his son. The serpents reach the location of the first feather and take it. The ninjas arrive at their location and start fighting them. The samurai arrives and helps the ninjas, but the overwhelming number of serpents defeats the samurai and reveals Naya's identity. They capture her in the amusement park, and Jay comes to help her. Jay unleashes his full power and manages to save Naya, but the serpents obtain the first feather and escape. Cole learns the location of the second feather, so the ninjas go to its location, but they can only take it if they win a competition. Cole's father trains them to win this competition. However, Cole's father knows that the ninjas will steal it, so he becomes sad, leaves the ninjas and goes to join the snakes. Pythor devours one of the judges and takes his place. The competition begins, and it's the snakes' turn to perform their act, followed by the ninjas' turn to perform theirs. The ninjas win the feather cup and take it. Cole's father comes and is happy because they won the competition. Then the snakes come and throw the stage amplifiers at them, take the feather, and escape. Cole discovers his true abilities and is able to save his father. The ninjas return to the ship, and the teacher returns with his brother, Lord Garmadon. The ninjas initially think he is coming to take the golden weapons, but he came to save his son Lloyd from the snakes. Zane locates the snake's position, and the ninjas chase after them. Pythor takes the third feather and sees the ninjas in its reflection. The snakes attack the ninjas, and the snakes escape before the place explodes. However, Kai chases Pythor and makes him drop the third feather. The snakes escape, and the ninjas get out except for Lloyd and Kai. The volcano explodes, but Kai unleashes his power and manages to save Lloyd and escape from the volcano. He returns to the ship, and the master discovers that Lloyd is the green ninja. Pythor finds the third feather, and the ninjas manage to capture one of the snakes and learn the location of the fourth feather from it. However, Pythor gets to it before them, so the ninjas plan to take the remaining feathers. They go and sneak in, but the snakes discover their presence, igniting a war between them and the ninjas. They manage to trap Pythor and imprison him, securing the fourth feather. The snakes celebrate their victory, but Lord Garmadon, Lloyd, and an army of skeletons arrive and fight the snakes. Lloyd frees the ninjas and manages to take the 4 feathers, returning to the ship. The ninjas celebrate their victory, but Pythor sneaks onto the ship, uses his ability to become invisible, and manages to destroy the ship's equipment, take the feathers, and escape. The ninjas chase after him to catch him, but they can't. Pythor reaches the place to release the Great Devourer and places the feathers in their spots. Master Wu arrives and fights Pythor, but the Great Devourer appears and devours Pythor. Master Wu escapes with the ninjas on the ship, but the Devourer is faster than them. It escapes from the ship, and the Great Devourer eats the ninjas' ship. The ninjas go to the junkyard to build a vehicle for themselves. The ninjas use the Great Explosion and build a ship to destroy the Great Devourer, but the Devourer destroys it. The ninjas discover the Great Devourer's weakness, which is a mark on its head. Then the Devourer goes to Ninjago. The ninja dragons return to them, but the Great Devourer is stronger than them. Lord Garmadon intervenes and asks them for the golden weapons to be able to defeat the Great Devourer. The ninjas agree and give him the golden weapons. The ninjas trick the ultimate predator and pin him down, while Lord Garmadon merges the golden weapons and manages to defeat him. Lord Garmadon escapes with the golden weapons, while the ninjas celebrate the return of Master Wu. The master informs them about the impending fulfillment of the prophecy of the war between the Master of Darkness and the Spinjitzu Master, and so the summary of the first season ends. Stay tuned for the summary of the second season, God willing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Blessings upon the Prophet, peace be upon him, and peace be upon you.